Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a 2020 model year 60th Anniversary Limited Edition of 2,500 pieces, celebrating 60 years of Grand Seiko watches. This is the Grand Seiko Quartz SBGP007. The watch is 40 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel by 11.2 millimeters thick, lug tip to lug tip. It's actually a pretty compact 46.8 millimeters. Then the end links of the bracelet expand the distance across the wrist to 50 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it wears well, it wears flat. And while it is full steel and 100 meters water resistant like a sports watch, it will easily slide underneath the cuff. No problem there. I would even recommend the watch on a strap, albeit for female wrists, as it really is quite flat and very short from lug to lug. Plus, Grand Seiko has given you traditional strap tool holes in the lug to encourage strap and bracelet swapping. The bracelet's nicely attached via solid end links, and you can see it's robust with a 3-link design reminiscent but not derivative of the Rolex Oyster. Polished flanks, satin tops, and a little bit of depth between the links. You can see this is a steel bracelet. Grand Seiko steel bracelets use screws, titanium bracelets use pin sleeves, and you can see there is a half link on each side so you can precisely size this watch. I would recommend it altogether for a wrist as small as, again, 13.5 centimeters circumference on a strap, 14 on this bracelet. The clasp is a single fold twin trigger release, thick gauge steel for the swing arm, so it sits secure on the wrist. The case is finished with black polish, achieved by tin plate polishing. This is the Zaratsu polishing method, of which Grand Seiko advertisements often speak. So the tin plate spins, the artisan holds the case against the tin plate, and creates these optically smooth mirrored surfaces. This is a hand-finished case, and that art takes about 3 years to master. So whereas Swiss watches generally don't offer much handcrafted content at this price, this watch is substantially handcrafted, most of the exterior, in fact. The watch features a combination of satin and polish with a transverse bevel on the ends and nicely tapered lugs. The crown, though 100 meters water resistant, is a push down, not a screw down. The bezel is conical and stepped, and then you can see the dial is a deep and lustrous blue metallic. We have a little golden star to represent a special specification for this version of the 9F85 caliber. But first, take note that all of the indices, as well as the hands and the frame for the date and the logo, are beautifully faceted, alternately satinated and polished. They're like little cut gems. And those parts are also made by hand on little diamond-tipped tools, micrometric tools, by artisans who focus on creating these dial furniture components all day and do nothing but that. Now, I mentioned this watch is special, and you can see not only do we have the star on the dial, we have the solid gold Grand Seiko Lion medallion on the reverse side. So this version of the 9F85 quartz movement is accurate to plus or minus 5 seconds a year. Standard is 10. This is 5. The watch has 2 subsidiary setting modes. One is hacking or stop seconds. The other, a little bit like some Omega quartz models, is a stepping hour hand that moves with a wonderfully positive detent, and you can continue to change your time zone, even jumping the date forward and backward without actually stopping the watch. Now, the timepiece features caliber 9F85, the original 9F breakthrough quartz movement, not just for Grand Seiko, but for the world. That came out back in 1993, and it remains a leader today. So this quartz movement, which is accurate to 5 seconds a year, has a power reserve, if you want to phrase it that way, of approximately 3 years, and it features thermocompensation. So unlike a conventional quartz movement, which will change its ability to keep time in hot and cold, this has a thermocompensated quartz oscillator that is not terribly sensitive to changes in temperature, so the watch is always a reliable timekeeper. The 9-jewel movement is watchmaker assembled, watchmaker adjusted, and when the time comes, watchmaker serviced. It is a lifetime movement, not just for your lifetime, but for the potential hundreds of years that this watch will survive and be enjoyed. Now, there's also a quartz trimmer built into the movement, which the watchmaker can use to adjust for the natural drift of a quartz crystal over time. Another feature that augurs well for the long-term viability of this movement. You'll also note that the seconds hand always aligns perfectly with the seconds index. There is a lash adjustment system built into the movement that ensures that precision, and there is a double pulse system, a double torque application of energy to the hands that allows them to be long, drawn out, and graceful. Typically, quartz hands have to be very short to minimize the expenditure of energy. Grand Seiko found a way around that. This watch is simply packed with refinements. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.